Isaac sowed, then is the breaking point. It's the bridge from the past to the future, from poverty to prosperity, from depression to joy, from death to life. And the reason we often stay at our midnight hours, we don't do anything about it. James 1:22 tells us that we have to be a doer of the word and not just a hearer only. We have to activate it by our actions. And what begins to happen with the life of Isaac is he sows this seed. And when he sows this seed, it says that in the same year, here's the supernatural, in the same year, only God can accelerate destiny. Only God can step in and out of time and space and move mountains and speed things up that would take a long time to be removed in a short time. Let me give you a quick testimony, and I'm going to challenge you by the word of the Lord. When I was 18 years old, God took me in a trench and showed me a vision. Every time I opened my mouth, there were masses and multitudes of people being saved and healed and delivered. When I shut my mouth, they fell into utter darkness. And he said, I've called you to preach the gospel. Well, as I began to move in that call, it seemed like every 6 months I would have a setback. When I was 5 years old, my father had committed suicide. From 6 to 13, I was sexually and physically abused. I'd never heard the gospel till I was 18 years old. And from the trauma of my childhood, when I would get in very difficult places, I would literally go into such a state of fear and abandonment that I would ball up. Now here I am, called by God at 18, and the enemy would bring trigger points into my life, and I would move about 30 feet and get knocked back 50, and I'd find myself balled up with that fear, feeling that same abandonment, because abandonment is deeper than just rejection. Rejections, I deny you. Abandonment is, I leave you because something is fundamentally flawed and wrong with you. I'm sitting there going, God, how am I going to shake nations when I can't even get out of this fear? When I can't get out of this position that maybe something is fundamentally wrong for me? And the Lord led me to go on a fast. I went on a fast for 21 days, and when I was fasting, God said, I want you to sow $1,000 seed. God said, I want you to sow $1,000 seed. God said, I want you to sow $1,000 seed. Now, it could have been, I don't know, 100 or 300, but God specifically said to me 1,000. I didn't even hardly have that, but I'm resourceful. So I went and I had myself a yard sale, pulled the curtains down, I got my dishes out, put everything out, and I took that $1,000 seeds to Bayshore United Methodist Church on MacDill Avenue. And I laid it down in that little tiny church. And I put that $1,000 seed down, and I cried at an altar in obedience to what God had spoken. And when I did that, I got up and I didn't feel anything supernatural. It wasn't like I knew there's a divine reversal, but I can stand here 20-something years later and declare to you, never again did I wrestle with the abandonment issue. Never again did I ball up in a fetal position. Never again did I feel fear or get set back 50. It broke something over my life, because this is what I found out. Your seed doesn't only have the power to go into your future and release the harvest that God has for you, but it also has the power to go in your past and shut a door. Someone needs a door shut, a generational curse to be broken. And right now, I want you to get up and go to the phone. Just like Isaac in Genesis chapter 26, then you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Paula, I don't want any more setbacks, but I believe it's a season of divine reversal. This word is for you. I believe for the next 12 months, you should sow, which means a full cycle, a year, $26. That's a one-time $312 seed. I want you to get up and call the toll-free number right now. Do not delay. Do not hesitate, but it's going to be broken over you. And I can tell you for future generations, because when you read the word, Isaac had a lot of children. There was a Joseph, a Manasseh, an Ephraim, a Gad, an Asher, Naphtali, a Reuben, a Simeon, a Levi, a Dinah. None of them repeated the behavior of their forefathers. It was broke. When you get up and call that toll-free number, I believe by faith something is going to break in your life that is going to shut a door to your past, because you need a door shut in order to move into your future. You feel like you're just spinning cycles and you're not getting anywhere. But when you call that toll-free number and say, yes, Pastor Paula, I'm going to stand with the Word of God. I'm ready to see an acceleration this year, a 100-fold harvest, because God's about to accelerate create something. And just like he did for you, Paula, and just like he did for Isaac, and I can take you throughout the Word of God, he's no respecter of persons. He's going to do it for you. You can write the P.O. box that's on your screen, or you can go to the website, but you cannot delay. You must right now get up, call that toll-free number, and if you get that one-time gift of $312, we're going to send you as a beautiful appreciation this necklace that is silver, gold-plated, that has Isaiah 53 that declares to you the reminder of God's faithfulness for the price that his Son paid, that God removes the transgression. He removes and he breaks the iniquity. Why? Because he's faithful, but you must do something about it. Get up and call the toll-free number, and when you do, there's friendly operators that are standing by that are going to put their faith with your faith, and all you need is two of you to agree. And when that seed releases your hand, get ready for harvest to enter your life. I believe in you, and I know God has great things. In conclusion, let me share this thought with you. I was sitting with a world-famous geologist one time, and I began to tell them, and we were just talking about the Word, and he said, Paula, let me share something about the seed with you. And I said, yes. He said, when a seed goes into the ground, he said, the ground's important. He said, but everybody thinks it's all about the ground. And he said, that's important. He said, but seed has in it power that when it goes in, it like incubates itself. It goes into that ground, and it literally changes the environment around it. I said, whoa, what are you saying to me? He said, well, when seed goes into ground, he said it puts a protective mechanism around it and literally begins to change the environment. I said, that's Isaiah, or that's Genesis chapter 26 with Isaac, that when Isaac planted, he wanted God to change the situation, but God changed him to bring change to the situation. When he planted and he stayed in obedience, then it changed the environment. Let me show you a picture of your future. Your family is going to look different. Your great-grandchildren are going to serve the Lord. There's going to be blessing that comes forth. You're going to be a homeowner. Your children will go to college. You're going to see dream and destiny fulfilled. Why? You're about to change the environments of your past because of your obedience to the Word of God. I believe in you, and I know God has great things for you.